Maureen, do it yourself vasectomy time. Right. Let's go turn the fan heater off now, man. So,
you go do that.
Interesting conversation with Holly yesterday.
Go on.
About the pound shop dildos, if you remember.
Oh God, we're back in the pound shop dildos.
Oh, I've been fucking laughing about it all day. I've had so many people comment. You know, I've been talking to Vicky this morning and stuff. Just hilarious. Just hilarious.
Would Vicky use a £1 dildo?
I didn't ask her actually. I ought to.
I reckon she would. Vicky's a bit freaky.
What is the thing you say? Whether it costs £1 or £1 million, it goes up the same hole, doesn't it? Does the same job.
Well, shut your eyes. I can imagine it all feels the same.
Exactly.
I mean, if it's lubricated well enough, you're not really going to be able to tell the difference between two different types of silicone, surely.
Yeah, you better not worry. You better not cry. Clench your teeth. I'm going in dry.
I got a divan bed when I moved house, so I wouldn't be tempted to sit on the bed pole.
Oh, I know a story about that from someone I know. I'm not telling you who it is, but it's not me.
Really? Are you sure? That sounds suspiciously like you.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'd imagine it would fucking hurt because bed poles are not small, are they?
No, they're hefty and they got a little at the top.
You seem to know a lot about fucking bed poles, mate.
I do. I keep an eye out for them. Would this one fit up my rectum? Maybe, maybe not.
I don't know.
I'll never know.
You'll never know, will you? Apparently, butt sex is supposed to be good for piles, which is quite interesting.
Funnily enough, your piles cleared up recently.
Oh man, I remember when my ex twice removed, my first wife's mother-in-law had her piles done, and we visited her in hospital, and she was in fucking agony because, you know, what they try to do is like they fucking go up there and they cut out what are essentially varicose veins in your ass.
Oh.
And then the idea is to make you shit as much as possible to keep them clear. So they're giving her all this fucking fibrous food and she's in agony. Oh, man. I think I'd rather have the fucking hemorrhoids, you know?
Well, they're not life-threatening. They're just painful, aren't they?
I don't know if they can be. I mean, I'm sure if you Google it, can they go septic, you know?
Oh, death by hemorrhoids.
Yeah, no, what a way to go. I remember it. It's not really a hemorrhoid story, but it's a guy who used to work with Mark Sterling. He says he used to know a guy who didn't shit for 4 months.
What? That's not possible.
No, yes, it is. I mean, there was a guy recently who didn't shit for God knows how many days, and they had to let him out of custody. But he didn't shit for 4 months or so, and he eventually had to go into hospital to have it removed surgically because it just wasn't fucking going. Now imagine if you had shit for that long, you'd probably spend the first month wishing you could go for a shit, and then the remaining 3 just fucking praying to God you didn't.
But I don't understand. How can you not shit for 4 months? What happens to the shit?
Well, it just sits there and rots, doesn't it? Imagine the stench.
Oh God, so it's rotting inside of him.
Of course it is, yeah, because if you think about it, your body's essentially a tube.
Yeah, but wouldn't that kill him?
Well, that's why they took him into hospital, because it was making him ill.
I thought that'd kill you very quickly.
Well, like I say, whether it was 4 months or even just 2, we know it's documented fact that some guy did 40-something days in custody without a single shit. Now, Jesus. As you know, with my working out and stuff, Saturday is my fucking skip load day.
Skip load.
So yeah, I eat probably a couple of 3,000 calories, sometimes as high as 6,000 calories on a Saturday. Now,
Jesus.
Now Sunday morning is epic shit day, as you can imagine.
I can imagine.
Now that's just one day. Imagine 40 days of that. How fucking and imagine when you did it. That fucking feeling of relief as you did it. Fucking hell.
Oh no.
Anyway, so what we're talking about today, still on prices, aren't we? Because yeah, you know, got a long story, but I mean, essentially, people are always asking, or often asking, about growing the businesses, and you say it a lot. How do you grow your business? And we'll come to it in a minute, but sometimes you don't actually want to grow your business. No,
Well,
uncontrolled, unconstrained growth is like cancer. It can kill your business, you know.
Well, we very deliberately, at one point, we noticed the growth levels were unsustainable if we wanted to keep up our high levels of service and whatnot.
Yeah, so we cut it back, didn't we? I remember that.
Yeah, we specifically said this is untenable. Me and you have never really been money hungry, so it was a no-brainer for us. Right, let's look after our current guys. Let's slow down the lead flow, turn the tap a little bit, because we also understand how important retention is.
Yeah, and that's why I live in a cardboard box now. But seriously, but I mean, what I see a lot on LinkedIn is there's a lot of fucking bullshit on there. There's actually, I'm not making this up, by the way. I'm not going to name him, but there's a guy who I was connected to, and I'm connected to another mate of mine, Dave Brown. I'm connected to Dave, and this person has blocked us both for no good reason. It's not like we've fallen out or anything. And I didn't really think much of it, but then Dave messaged me, and apparently this other guy, whose business has gone down the tubes, and I've seen him saying his business going down the tubes, and I've seen him posting some real shit about business. He's set himself up on Clubhouse and then on LinkedIn as a business consultant.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And I suspect, and Dave suspects the same thing. I suspect he's blocked me and Dave because he knows me and Dave will call him out as bullshit, because I hate that kind of shit. And these people, they got all this fucking newfangled stuff and all this. I mean, the funniest one was some 17-year-old wet behind the ears knob who tried to tell me TikTok was the way to go. TikTok was the future. You know, none of these platforms are the future. They may play a part in the future, but they're not the future itself. And but they overcomplicate things. I mean, there are only three ways to grow your business, or grow your profits is probably a better way to look at it. Because sometimes you don't want to grow your business. You probably want to make more money with fewer clients, like Kevin's done. You know, Kev had 400 and something clients and was a heart attack waiting to happen. Now he's got about 100 and he's making more money and just fuck all work. And he's driving Vicky mad because he's not busy, you know. And the three ways is, I mean, they're simple, really. You can sell to more people, you can sell more stuff, and you can sell at higher prices. That's about it, really. Now, the thing is, if you want to grow your profits, selling to more people and even selling more stuff isn't necessarily the way to go. Because selling to more people, if you're not making a profit on each sale, you can sell to as many people as you fucking like. You can sell as much stuff as you like, and you still ain't going to increase your profits, except maybe incrementally. You know, this is what people don't fucking understand. I mean, Dan Kennedy said it best. He said, you know, there's all this fucking turnover, all this gross, and you think to yourself, there must be some net in there somewhere, and often there isn't.
Yeah.
Was it the shoe place? The guy just died recently. I can't remember what it's called. It's become with the Z, I think. Online site.
I think I know the one. Green logo.
Oh, I don't know about that. I've read the book. It's a really interesting book. But they nearly went under because they were growing at an enormous rate, and he was putting his own fortune into it, which he had got from a previous successful business.
Zappos,
that's the one. And he nearly went out of fucking business because they were doing loads of sales but no profit. So selling to more people isn't necessarily the best way to go. Apart from anything else, it's the hardest thing to do because it necessarily means getting more clients. And you know as well as I do, getting a new client, certainly getting a new profitable client, is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. I mean, the easy way to do it is just keep dropping your prices till you get any Tom, Dick or Harriet come along. But to get a good, profitable client is hard work. As the saying goes, you've got to kiss a lot of frogs sometimes. And as Dan Kennedy called it, sometimes you've got to do a lot of fishing to catch a whale. Yeah. He called the big clients whales. I had a day with Dan, as you know. It was one of the best days of my fucking life. Most expensive day of my life as well, but there you go. Well, actually, probably wasn't. Probably the most expensive day of my life was the day I married my first wife. But that's another story.
You're gonna have to keep the listeners entertained for 30 seconds. Someone's knocking at the door.
Okay. Right, now we have a song. So anyway, Connor's gone. Actually, what he's really doing, Connor's fucked off. He's just giving me the finger. Connor's really going to find that fucking bed pole, you know, the thing that goes up at the corner of the bed. He's got the lube, he's got the bed, and he just can't resist it. He's sitting there at a desk in his bedroom, looking at the corner of his fucking bed, thinking, I could sit on that while John's talking. That's exactly what he's done. I wouldn't make this up, honestly. But to continue, selling to more people it's risky because you don't know how people are going to buy. It's speculative because you don't know how people are going to buy. You've got to put the money in sometimes up front for the advertising. If you're doing offline print advertising, if you're doing online, you still got to stump the money up for the click before you've made the sale. So, there is an upfront cost attached to it. Now Connor's appeared on the bottom right hand of the screen. So I thought, well, that's not at the door. Come back, you cunt. Anyway, so selling to more people is the hardest thing to do. It's the riskiest thing to do. And often it's the most unprofitable thing to do. New client, onboarding a new client, it depends on your business. If it's just selling newspapers, not so. But if it's something like our business, onboarding a new client into Elite is not lengthy, but it's a big undertaking. It's a lot of commitment from both sides. Selling more stuff is probably easier and more profitable because the easiest way to sell more stuff is to sell it to people you've already sold to. Yeah. Well, that's really easy, because you just fucking send emails and emails and emails and direct mail and direct mail and direct mail until some fucker buys. And they do. And, just to put some numbers on this, when I launched my Elite Mastermind 2013, I had in a Near Circle newsletter, a subscription newsletter of 164. Of those 164, 27 came to my £1,000 event. And of those 27, 14 joined Elite within the first week, 11 on the spot, 3 more in the days following. These people I'd already sold to. They'd already bought into me and were prepared to buy much more from me. Selling cold is fucking hard. So to sell more stuff is easier than selling to new customers or getting new customers. But it's still a little bit speculative because you don't know how much they're going to buy. There's a little bit of work involved. It's probably one of the easiest sales you're ever going to make. But there are easier ways. And the third way to grow your profits is what we keep fucking banging on about, sell at higher prices.
Really?
And that covers both of those, new customers and existing customers selling at higher price. Every sale you make is better proportionately than every other that you were making before. And I wrote an email about this the other day, and it does piss me off somewhat when people take the line, oh, John's going about price again. Well, of course I am, because in 80-20 terms, price is the most important thing.
Yeah.
All the rest matters or can matter and has an effect. More customers, more sales, better clients, all those things matter. But what matters more than anything is how much you sell for.
Yeah.
We don't do mates rates.
No.
I'm trying to think who do. I know people who do mates rates and they regret it.
Of course they do.
Because the thing is, doing mates rates has a lot of implications behind it. It implies that taking the full price from someone is somehow unfriendly.
Yeah, crazy.
Well, how does that happen? I am genuinely good friends with Christian, my client Christian Simpson. Genuinely good friends with him. I don't give him any discounts, and he doesn't piss and moan about it. He does wince from time to time when I send him my invoice. But he pays it. But he knows he's. I'm not going to reveal the numbers, but he's getting many multiples of what he pays me back, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and I take the stance of there's no mates rates. I'll help you for free a little bit because you're a mate. But if you want to buy something from us, you pay the whack. I'm not giving you a discount on something. It's either I help you for free because you're my mate for a period of time.
Yeah. Exactly that.
It's like dad. So my dad, he's in property, so he has to do building works, and often his mates obviously fucking leech up to him. Oh, I'll give you mates rates on the electricals. I'll give you mates rates on the building. And dad says to me, oh, he's doing mates rates. I said it won't end well. It never ends well. No. It never ends well because he'll feel pissed off, underpaid, and he'll do a shoddy job because he wants to go to the job where he's being actually paid. And if he's actually a mate and he wants to help you out, he'd do it for a pack of beers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I actually don't want mates rates. I want to pay a full price. I want the people I pay to do well because they'll stick with me. And here's another thing. It's not quite the same thing, but it's along the same would it be a spirit of generosity? I don't know if that's the right word, but over the years, I've mentored people who are actually my direct competitors. They're in the same kind of mentoring role as I am. I don't care. And I share everything with them. I don't hold anything back to keep me above them in some way. And some of them have gone on to do better than I'm doing. And I'm okay with it. I'm perfectly okay with it. You know, so in that respect, it's the same kind of thing. I don't know. I can't explain how the parallel works, but it's like I don't do mates rates. I want to pay people who do work for me. I want to pay them well. So I want to see them do well. In the same way as I want to see my clients do well. You know,
personally, I want a professional agreement. If I'm paying you, it's because if I want something done that I'm going to be paying for, well, then I want a contract and I want a guaranteed outcome and I want to be buying that outcome. I don't want my mates rates to run out of time and to be like, oh, I'll slap it together and that's fine because we're pals.
There's another thing. What happens with mates rates when your mate, the electrician, comes and does something either on the cheap and it goes wrong? Then what? How do you approach that? Do you feel guilty? I mean, I don't know. I'm not really into these feelings things, but is that how it would work? You'd feel guilty. I'm sure many a friendship has been lost with mates rates.
Oh, without a doubt.
If you're charging a proper rate and you're doing a proper professional job, and I mean that in the real sense of the word professional, not the mealy mouth shit they get on LinkedIn about you've got to wear a suit and tie. If you're doing a proper professional job for someone, you'll be covered by indemnity and all sorts. And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
I remember I first came across this long before I got into business. As you probably know, I was a student of martial arts since I've been about 18, on and off. And I remember reading about some Japanese bloke who was a 17,000th Dan or something, and he was teaching young people in his living room in his spare time. That was his life. He just used to teach karate, and these people were overawed because this great master was teaching them. They were just nobodies, and they said, we want to pay you because we feel bad. It's not right. You're teaching us and we want to pay you. And he went quiet and he said, if you were paying me, you wouldn't be able to afford it.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thing too. There are some people I've helped in the past and maybe continue to do so. I'm not going to dwell on that. It's business. It's not something I do for business. It's not something I do to try and get business later on. Anybody I would help in that way is someone who's not got a hope of paying me.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But that's my choice. It's not through a feeling of obligation. It's not through a feeling of altruism either. It's genuinely helping someone because I know I can help them very quickly. I've done that and I don't mind doing that. But I don't give them a cheap disc. I don't give them a discount or because that wouldn't be the same. That wouldn't work. It's not mates rates or anything else. It's, this is free advice. You take it or leave it. I don't care. And I don't get involved in it.
Yeah.
And I know there are people, I can think of at least 4 people on LinkedIn who are doing far better now because of it. And that's fine. I'm not going to name names and I'm not going to talk numbers, but it's great. So please, if you want to grow your profits and, be very clear about the word I'm using there, not business. If you want to grow your profits, sell at higher prices before you start trying to sell more stuff and before you try to sell to more people. Do it in that order. Increase your prices, sell more to the people you've already sold to, and then start looking for new clients. Right?
And then listen to us right now and make sure you're not making the number one mistake in business. Yeah,
which is kind of tied to this, and that is trying to make up for your low price by volume of sales, by trying to sell to more people. This is, I cannot overemphasize this. We've already talked about this, but I want to reiterate the point. If you go out of your way to keep getting more business and more business and more business, thinking that you are then very much in danger of confusing and conflating activity with achievement. It is not increasing your profits other than maybe incrementally by getting more and more clients. If each individual client is not profitable, and the way to make a client profitable is to charge a high price and sell more than one thing to them. Yeah, which goes back to higher prices and obviously selling more stuff. But most people don't, you see, here's a good example for you. Most people don't follow up. How many times have I clicked on adverts on, say, Facebook or Instagram on my phone, and I don't get sometimes I leave my email address as well.
Mm.
I don't get any emails to follow up. I've
No
bought
more ads.
No, I've bought stuff. Or if I do, it's the ad for the same thing I've just fucking bought.
Oh, so they're not excluding.
No.
Yeah, and that's basic advertising
Well,
stuff.
that's just, I mean, I don't know anything about Facebook advertising in the specifics, but that's fucking advertising 101, that is.
Yeah.
There's no point trying to sell someone a fucking widget they've already bought.
It's really not hard to do.
You need to keep buying, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, give you an example, looking around my room. Yoga mat and yoga blocks. I still get fucking ads shown for those. Well, I bought the fuckers. I don't want any more. A man can only have so many fucking yoga blocks.
I remember a particular guy that came to us. I can't remember his name, nor would I say it if I could, but he wanted to sell, I believe, the equivalent to paper clips. And his idea was he was going to sell a fuckload of paper clips to make £1 million or something along those lines.
Oh, God, yeah.
Do you remember? And it wasn't even a proper business. It was
he was
man in the shed on eBay.
No, that's two different people.
Oh, okay. So I'm mixing two.
But it was the same problem with both of them.
Yeah, just the margins are so small.
Yeah.
Like if you're selling, I don't know, in what quantities do you buy paper clips? I'd assume 100 is the lowest.
Oh, God. You've got to sell
you'd sell 100 paper clips for what? I can't imagine it's more than £5.
I've got no idea how much paper clips are. It's not something I would buy. I get sorry for that.
Me neither.
But what I do know is you've got to sell a lot of fucking paper clips to make a lot of money.
I'm gonna have a look at paper clips.
The world's most expensive paper clips.
Paper clips.
But there's another thing as well. I mean, volume of sales is you just work.
Oh my God. I was well off. That's embarrassing. 1,000 paper clips, £3.50.
So basically,
I can get it tomorrow.
About 35p for 100.
Yeah, and if you want coloured ones that come in a nice box,
hang on.
A little bit
there's a really good point there, Connor. If I'd have charged you £5 for 100 paper clips, you'd be a happy man.
More than happy.
Because that's what you just said. You think that's about what they're worth. This is how stupid discounting is.
I'd have paid the tenner.
Anyone listening to this, proof positive. Price is irrelevant because Connor had no idea how much paper clips were. And if he was buying paper clips and I said, £5 for 100, he'd have just bought them. He wouldn't have gone shopping round.
No. If I walked into a shop and there's paper clips there.
And they're £5 for 100, you wouldn't have, I'll probably get them cheaper somewhere else. You just say, £5. You just wouldn't even think about it, would you?
Well, it happened the other day. Me and my friend I'm living with, we went to the shops. I can't remember what we bought. I don't know, some form of sauce, and it was £5. And I was like, I like this sauce, so I'm going to get this sauce. It's £5. I think it was £4.50 to be exact. And then he comes home the next day saying, we got well ripped off for that sauce. I was like, what do you mean? He went, I've seen it 3 times since, and it's usually less than £2. I even saw it for £1. I was like, it doesn't matter. We got the sauce. And he was like, yeah, true.
And you've already paid for it, so there's nothing you can do.
And it was just like, whatever. But guess what? I'm still going to pay £5 for that sauce because the shop's 5 minutes closer.
You pay for convenience.
Yeah,
people do. It's ridiculous. And the other thing is, not only is it more trying to get more clients is often a really stupid idea.
Yeah.
And never mind the practicalities of it and all that kind of thing. But it's just a hard way to go about things. Even if you can make it profitable, which you can, we know you can. Yeah, and we all do need to get new clients because there's natural attrition. Clients die, they move away, they change their minds, they change their lifestyles. Things change. That's
fix their problems.
Fix their problems. So, it's okay to lose clients. You do. And so you do need new ones, and you might want to grow the business as well. Once you've got your profit sorted per transaction, you might want to grow the business like we do. But it's still the harder way to go about things. And if you take that as being your very first port of call, you are unnecessarily making life hard for yourself. Never mind all there are better ways to do it. Well, there are better ways to do it, but never mind all the pitfalls. You're just making life hard. It doesn't have to be that difficult.
And I'm not autistic, like you, but dealing with more and more people doesn't sound like fun.
No, I would say, you know, I'm sure you could probably find research on this, but in the same way as if you get, you know, the relationships between two people go up, I think, as by a factorial -1 or something. So you've got two people, you've got one relationship. You've got three people, you've got two relationships, three relationships, A and B, A and C, B and C.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see where you're going with
then
this.
It goes up, and very rapidly, it goes to immense proportions.
Mm.
Now, I know you've not generally got cross relationships between clients, but when you start, if you've got 10 clients, it's more than 10 times harder than dealing with one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so much harder.
Well, each client has a certain kind of variable and fixed cost, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you just add to your fucking problems. I mean, to me, the thought of having 10 one-on-one clients is actually quite horrific. I don't know if I think I would become mentally ill. Yeah, I know loads of people who tell me, you know, copywriters, young, well, I say young, they're in their 30s, they're younger than me. These young and up and coming copywriters are all excited. I've got a portfolio of 12 clients. I can't think in business terms of many things worse than having 12 one-on-one clients. Now, even if I thought a lying fallow for a while, no.
I was at my most, I didn't have depression, so I don't want to say that. I was at my saddest, most depressed, as you'd say, when I had my most amount of clients.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I've ever had in one go. It's probably no more than 3 or 4.
Oh, at one point I was managing like 14 different ad accounts.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was horrible, 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 horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to, over the last, say, since I started the Mastermind Elite, which is when I really just cut it back, I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I love to imagine people are driving in their cars. They can't change the podcast, so they've now got to sit there listening to you going 1, 2, 3, 4.
I reckon I've had half a dozen clients in the last 8 years, and never more than one at a time, I think.
Yeah.
I just don't need it. Charge enough that I don't need it. And I've got the other parts of the business too. It's just fucking ridiculous.
And this, yeah, you're saying that as someone who is genuinely a complete specialist and expert in your field.
Yeah.
And we've got these fucking Denny so-and-so business consultants that used to be, you know, carpet fitters and electricians, boiler people. And I bring that up because I've got a note here that it's the topic of your 1 minute hate.
Yes, the 1 minute fucking hate. Business consultants on LinkedIn who have shitty businesses of their own. Here's the thing. I've got to set this going.
Okay, you're that ready. I can see you're getting redder and redder.
Honestly, it's not just this one person, it's the whole thing.
It's 99% of business consultants who run businesses. So anyway, I'll let you talk about this. Hey, Piri Piri. That didn't work. Hey, Cheery Cheery. Hey, Leary Leary.
Hey, Siri.
Can't hear you. Headphones. Hey, Siri. Set a timer for 1 minute.
1 minute. Counting down.
Right, business consultants on LinkedIn who've got shitty businesses. The first, most of them actually call themselves coaches. They are not coaches. Let's get this clear. A coach is someone who takes someone through a series of questions to try and get them to find their own way. A mentor is someone who shares his experience, who shows you the answer to the questions. A teacher is someone who teaches something, like an educator. And a trainer is someone who shows you how to do it yourself. Those 4 things are completely different. Most coaches, most people who call themselves coaches and consultants are actually acting in a mentoring role, but they're not even qualified to be fucking mentors because they've never done it themselves. What it is, they are struggling amateurs and trainers, sometimes educators, who think because they know it, they can teach it. And because they teach it, it makes them coaches. No! You are not a fucking coach. You are a moron. Okay. The thing is, it's like that fucking twat who messaged me and says, I want to do what you do. I want to hold people's feet to the fire in business and do like you and Dan Kennedy do. And I said, have you ever done it yourself? No. Is that a problem? Yes, it's a fucking problem, you moron.
And
Honestly.
I think that's a wonderful way to wrap this up.
Right, honestly, he messaged me and says, I want to do what you do. Have you ever done it yourself? No. Is that a problem? Fucking hell, how can you not see it's a problem, you moron? The thing is, it's much easier. It's much easier to sell the how-to than to do the how-to.
Of course it is.
Phil Agostino, my PT, and you know Phil, he's a really good mate.
Of course I do.
He sent me this message, this fucking screenshot from Instagram of this bloke who's admitted he's lost about 14 kilograms. He's still over 300 pounds, so he's still fucking obese. He's now selling coaching on weight loss.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I know. I mean, when you got your six-pack, mate, and you come down for 300 pounds, then maybe you got something to say. But if you were, I mean, for whatever reason, losing 14 kilograms when you're already 300 pounds is dead easy.
Yeah.
Just take a big shit.
Yeah, big shit. One less Mars bar. Put down the crisps. Big boy.
But yeah, he's setting up as a fucking weight loss coach.
Fuck's sake.
I know. But the thing is, on the internet, anyone can be anything. I mean, we could be.
We could be shills.
We could put a fucking fancy website up. The difference is we've got the testimonials, and I would hope anyone listening to our podcast and reading our material would get the fucking feeling, shit, these guys know what they're talking about, because we do.
I'd like to. I'll get my words out, actually. While she was spieling about the difference between mentor, coaches, consultants, yada, 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 I know we've had this conversation several times before, but I've always wondered, what does that make me? Am I technically a mentor?
Okay, yeah, you are, because you're sharing your experience and your knowledge with others and giving them the answers. I mean, yeah, that would make you a mentor. You're not just an educator who tells people how to do things. You actually lead by example and show them what you've already done, and you've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I actually do take, and it's happening more and more. When I'm doing hot seats in Elite and things, I actually do take something of a coaching role. I'm not formally trained as a coach. It's something I'm going to probably do in the future with my work with Christian, just so I know his material better when I'm selling it for him. Mm-hmm. But I'm not a coach, even though I do, the edges are blurred. I mean, when I was, for instance, taking Vicky through those questions about what do you want to do? How's that going to work?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a quintessentially a coaching process. And I can do that, but I'm not a coach.
I wouldn't have the patience, I don't think, because I'd ask them a couple of leading questions, which I think are painfully obvious what the answer is. Then they'll say something, I'll be like, for fuck's sake, you idiot, here's what you do.
That's the definition of a leading question, by the way. A leading question is one which suggests the answer. So
yeah, and then they give the wrong answer.
Yeah, one of the problems I have with being a coach myself, or the difficulty is not a problem as in like I don't like it, is one, I don't have the empathy for it. Mm-hmm. And two, certainly in the area I work in, I'm too quick to give the answers. That's why I do class myself as a mentor. And I'm a damn good one. The bit of coaching I do is valuable, but really I'm a mentor, and I want to stay there.
Yeah, and also coaching's a dirty word. Mentor seems I've got a lot of friends who are coaches, but mentor sounds a lot more respectable than I'm a coach.
A key difference is this. I mean, a coach doesn't have to know about the business or the topic he's coaching someone in, because the idea is a coach asks the questions. I mean, it's very simplistic, but a coach asks the questions to bring out the information from his client or her client. Yeah. So you don't have to know about the business. If I was coaching someone in, say, being a fit pro as a business owner, I don't have to know about being a fit pro. Mm-hmm. I just have to know about business. But if I was going to mentor someone as a fit pro and teach them how to be a better fit pro, I need to know how to do that. Or if I'm mentoring their business, I need to be a business. I need to know how to create a profitable and effective fit pro business. Whereas a coach doesn't have to do that. He just has to know the question. I'm not saying one's better than the other. But what I find really quite disingenuous is when coaches call themselves coaches and they're not. They're acting in a mentoring role, but they're not qualified to do that even because they've never done it themselves.
Well, that's exactly why coaching has a bad rep.
Fucking rightly too. I mean, my mate Christian, who teaches coaches, he's the coach's coach. He fucking hates the industry because it's so bad.
We need to wrap this up. I've got to go pick up another sofa.
If you want to make more money with less work, less hassle and fewer headaches by attracting better clients and selling at higher rates and having it all happen in a moist and turgid pipeline, which is filled behind the scenes and hands off on autopilot, go to growyourbusinessfast.co.uk/SSQ, that's Sierra Quebec, and take the sales certainty quiz. It will show you where the leak is in your existing process and show you exactly what you need to do to fix it and to plug them. In the meantime, stay safe, stay inside, wash your hand, do not fucking—
You've done it again.
Coach, when you shall come to it in a minute. And you don't call yourself a fucking coach or interrupt me when I'm talking. And don't shit on your fingers. And as Connor Clark rightly pointed out, I forgot, we have a web event on pricing coming up, how to sell at higher prices than your competitors without losing sales. It's on Wednesday the 24th at 5:30 p.m. And to get registered for that, you need to go to growyourbusinessfaster.co.uk/free-training. Link will be below. Now, in the meantime, stay safe, stay inside, wash your hands, don't call yourself a coach, and don't show any fingers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.